a couple of seconds just to
Yep.
load everything.
Oh. You're live.
There we go.
Okay, I'm sharing it to the creator side. Say hi.
Excellent. Thank you. Hey, we're live. All right, I'm going to share it to my page as well. There, Robbie's there. Alexis is there. Excellent. Excellent. Here we go. Share on my page. Monday live Startoon stuff. Always takes a second to warm up. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. And by everybody, I mean Robbie and Alexis. Okay. Always takes a little bit for people to arrive, so we just kind of kill a few minutes with me. Oh, there's hearts and likes and all that stuff. Look at you guys. There, I'm going to do some thumbs up as well. Woo, woo. And some hearts, just to, like, you know, pat it all up. Look how happy we are. And laughter. Oh, yeah, see, Amy, there you go. There you go. Look at that. A flurry of hearts and thumbs and laughter. Where would we be on a Monday morning without laughter? We actually had a fair bit of it this morning. We were doing some recording, or Andy was doing some Francisco recording, and it was kind of stupid, which is sort of the hallmark of what we do. But yeah, it's been a good morning so far that way. Just get everything into focus. Alrighty. Okay, it is Monday, July 10th, noon. We are one week to go before the Face Your Fears deadline. We've been trying our best to check in with everybody. I've been tagging you guys in these things, trying to get you to watch, ask questions. We sent out an email to all the creators on Friday. Most of you, a good chunk of you we've heard back from. I'm actually going to let you guys know right now that the bar has been set. Nico, once again, Nico Roncero. I hope I'm saying your last name right, man. Nico Roncero. Gigi has already submitted his Face Your Fears challenge. Dude, it's awesome. I love it. I'm not here to sway anybody. I love it. And the rest of you guys got your work cut out for you if you want to keep up with this guy. I'm going to tag him right now so I can, let's see. Nico, where are you? Nico, you're awesome. There, see? Look, it gets an awesome. Nico, you are awesome. It's Gigi is continuing to impress, and yeah, you guys are amazing. So Gigi is in. We got 1 week to go. We've checked in with as many people as we can. So we talked to Julian Capati, Puppy Night. He's animating. He says he's on schedule. That looks good. Jonathan Coit, Lumberjack. He says he's ahead of schedule, and that keeping it under a minute was a huge help. So I'm glad that worked out well for you, man. Brad Weaver, TK, he's juggling a few things, including he's going to be a daddy, and there's a pregnancy going on at home. So I know that can take up a lot of, thumbs up over from Amy. That can take up a lot of energy. So the fact that you're still pushing away at this thing is amazing, Brad. This is, again, posing rather than full animation. He said that last time, and it looked great. So no worries there. He wishes he were using Harmony instead of Flash. TK is a noodly character. That's interesting. Two ways of looking at that. Well, I mean, I guess it's certainly Harmony and Flash as a whole conversation. We talked about the pros and cons there. So maybe setting out to design a character that was so noodly. Whatever, man. You're being true to your vision, so you just keep chasing it, and you're doing great. Darren with Lionel. He has started. This was as of Friday. So I hope Darren, you had a really, really big weekend. He says it will be in by the due date. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed there. Alexis Giroux, Galactic Space Ninja. A little bit of scope creep, it sounds like. Just getting into the world of what could be the show. Be careful, man. You know how much I love what you're doing. Don't get carried away. Stay true to the challenge, and don't get too married to making this thing bigger than it's supposed to be. All right? We're trying to make this as easy on you as possible. Haley Rose, the Lenore crew. Oh yeah, they had some questions about planning ahead. I'll get back to this after. This was sort of interesting because we're seeing that people have had a few things in terms of when you get into this thing, you've got some stuff that you're planning in terms of your own life and your timing. We'll deal with that because it plays into Adam Winnick's comment as well with Hazan. He was away on a 2-week vacation that was booked before he got into Startoon. So now he's playing a little bit of catch up. Still says he's going to be good. I love the pain. But it does go into how you plan around this kind of thing when it's a contest and you don't know if you're going to make it all the way, and all, so it's tricky. We'll get into that a little later in the broadcast. Bijan with Stanley, he's a little behind, trying some new software, but feels confident he'll have everything in on time. Trying some new software under these circumstances is a brave risk, man. But hopefully it's not going to get in the way because I love what you're doing with Stanley. So we had a few dropouts last time, and I'm hoping to avoid that we kind of dealt with the bulk of that the first time around. There are a few of you we haven't heard from yet. I'm going to list off some names. Charlie Richards, come on, man. Harry and Shelley, I'm not worried about you. I know you're in. I know that you're committed. But we want to hear back and know where you're at. Maybe we'll tag these guys as we go. Charlie Richards, where are you? Charlie Richards, where are you at? There, see, right there. Ali Kellner, Max. Again, Ali is someone who produces. I'm not too worried. But at the same time, we need to hear back. Ali's getting very busy with the festival circuit with her other film, Nana, and getting lots of good news in that area. And that's amazing. At the same time, we don't want you to forget about us. All right, Ali? Let's do another one for you. Ali Kellner. Where's Max? There, see? Let's start tagging everybody. Who's next? Brandon Lepine, Oscar and Dingus. Brandon, my man. Brandon Lepine. We're going to tag you too. What's up with Oscar and Dingus? I know Brandon recently returned to posting on Instagram with a really cool drawing. He's had a lot going on. I believe there's a move or something like that. But let's see. Let's not lose track of where we're at here with you guys. Next one up is Ryan McNeil. Ryan A. McNeil. Pepper Monterey. Yeah, another big favorite. So need to know you're out there. Are you out there? Whoop, out there. You guys are going to sit through this for a minute, all right? Surin Pereira, Strangest Neville. Strangest Neville. Surin, I don't have you as a contact. If any of you guys know Surin Pereira, we're going to track him down and see what's going on. But yeah, I'm a little worried about Strangest Neville. It's really cool, and it would be a shame to kind of lose track now. Sean Brannigan. You know I love you, but come on, man. Don't leave me hanging. Sean Brannigan and Matthew Jacobs. I want to know where you're at. And oh God, come on. I'm not worried about this guy, but still. Alex Scudder Martins. Freako. Check in, man. Check in. Where are you? And last but not least, James and John Roney. I don't have you guys on here, so it's kind of hard for me to do this. James and John Roney, Willa, we haven't heard from you guys. I want to know where everything's at. Okay, we're trying to check in. We're trying to make sure we got 1 week to go. Next Monday at noon is the deadline. And we're trying to avoid things dragging in at the last minute. You need those votes, okay? That wild card is huge. And the sooner you get it in, we're trying not to be bad guys about this, but noon is the deadline on Monday, right? And we may get to a point where we have to start, calling that it. Alex is here. Awesome, man. All right, Alex, where are we at with Rico? Give me a heads up here. Let us know where we're at. And if there's anything going on that you need some help with, what do you need to hear? Alex, how is Rico doing? Okay, I gotta know. So that seems to be kind of everybody. We've got, like I said, I'll recap here, but Nico Rancero is killing it with Gigi. All kinds of awesome. It's already in, guys. I'm tempted to let it go live now and see how many votes it can pick up. I know. Amy's saying no, but I said I'm tempted. I said I want to reward. I want to reward this amazing work ethic that Gigi is already in. We have our first Face Your Fears video in the door, and it's awesome. And yeah, I'm excited as hell for you guys to see it, but I gotta wait a week. I gotta wait a week to share it with you. So get your stuff in, so we can share all of these, and we can start voting, and we can see where we're at, and everybody can enjoy them. Okay, this is huge, and don't let me down at the last minute. All right, don't make me come after you guys. I'm gonna be making some phone calls today. I'm gonna put out a big scowly face there, an angry face. See? Let's see what we got. Anybody else? Chris is here. Anybody? Okay, so that's where we're at. We've got one in. We've got about half our people have checked in saying that they're doing okay. About the other half have not checked in, and I'm a little nervous about maybe two of them. All right. So I'm hoping that this does not spell any kind of doom and gloom for those two, but we're going to try to reach out to you guys, even if I got to phone you myself, and see what's up. Yeah, I think, but we should be in pretty good shape. We will have our rotating judge announcement very, very, very soon. I think this is a pretty exciting one for you guys. The judges will be back in 2 weeks. We will do it as before. We will get that feedback shot and shared. We will have our next big announcement video going, and then on to the next challenge, which we'll also be announcing soon. I'm not giving you guys any little previews for that right now, though, because I want you focusing on this one, and I want you getting it done. I think the important thing here, when we talk about scope creep and all this kind of stuff, Amy, can you share that finished, not perfect? I keep referring to this thing because it is. Jake Parker made this video last year, kicked around, but it's a valid lesson. And we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. When you're someone who wants to be making things, you gotta be making them, okay? And it's not made unless you finish it. There are plenty of us out here, myself included, who have started films and never finished them. I got one little thing that I've animated 4 times probably, and never finished it. And it hangs over my head every day. The key thing here for you guys who want to be filmmakers, you guys who want to make cartoons, finish the damn things. All right? The greatest examples in the world are the people who actually get it done. Don't bite off more than you can chew. That's why we're trying to design these challenges the way we are, so you can actually get them done. Okay? The minute timelines, the keeping it down to those constraints. You'll learn a lot in the making. All right? You apply that to the next one. It's every situation where you start something like this. You start a film, you finish it, and you learn in the process. But your film is only as good as the day you started, and that's okay. That's okay. Bank those lessons. Get it done. Get it out. Get on to the next one, and apply those lessons in the next one. That's what we're doing here as well. You're going to apply the lessons you learn, the feedback you get into the next round. If you don't get it finished, you can't move forward. And we're compressing all that into this like amazing, tight deadline workshop thing here that we're doing, and it's a boot camp. So it forces you to move forward that way, and apply those lessons in the next round. This is key. The Jake Parker thing is great because it shows you that if you don't finish it, you got nothing. All right. There are people I know who do these things, who do these films and these short films, and they end up with a body of work. In the time it takes you to make a 7-minute film, the years and years and years it will take you to do that. Make 7 30-second films. You'll have a body of work, and you'll eventually build up that place where you can make the film you've always wanted to make. It's a process. So we're going to push you guys here right now. We're going to push you to finish this stuff up and stay the course in this process with us. We're getting along. We're getting there. We're getting along the way. Someone's going to win, and that's always amazing. But what we see, like last year, what we see is that the improvement, these people, the ones who came back, the improvements are huge. So let's just stay the course, guys. Finish this stuff up. And like I said, right now, 1 week to go on Face Your Fears. And if Nico's is any indication, we got some good stuff coming down the pipe. Okay, so I'm going to stop guilting. I'm going to stop crapping all over you. This is where we're at. So this past week, I want to thank everybody for chiming in last week. We put out the call for podcasts, and that just lit up. There were tons of great recommendations on there. It's interesting. It seems that there are a lot of older podcasts, a lot of stuff that people like. I don't know if there's one that's like kicking it right now in the animation community that everybody's excited about. But there's always been like the nice thing about these things is they live online. You can go back and the lessons don't change, the stories don't change, the stories stay evergreen. So I want to thank everybody who took part in that and got that together and shared their favorites. We're always looking for more, so please don't hesitate to share. Speaking of podcasts, this week the Startoon Cartoon Podcast is going to be part 1 of 2. It's another long one. We had a good group of studio owners in the shop a few weeks ago. Morgan Fortier from Tin Man and Skyship, she was here. We had Hector Herrera from Together Words and Pictures. We had Kyle McDougall from Jamfilled. And then we had a little drop-in from our good friend Sam Chu from Style 5. I think that was everybody right around the table. Yes. So two-parter, they're talking about what it's like to run a studio, own a studio, the challenges, various sizes of shops there. We've got Jamfield, who's had a really big growth period over the last little while. Tin Man, who runs a very specific kind of shop, and then Hector and Sam, who are more the boutiques, but a really interesting, engaging conversation. We've got part 1 coming up this Wednesday night. Part 2 will be out the following week, so we've got that coming your way, and a lot of other a lot of other goodies coming down the pipe after that. So that should keep everybody busy. In the meantime, like I said, we got 2 weeks in this whole round right now, 1 week to go, and then the judges come back in. We're at chorus again. We'll do the whole thing again in 2 weeks, and we'll move on to the next round. What other bits and pieces we got to share? Festival season. Hey, there's Brad. Hey, Brad. Give you a big hello. Festival season is coming up. I know the Ottawa Animation Festival has put out their call for volunteers. I always like to share that one. I've volunteered there before. I even did it, a lot of people do it starting out. I did it mid-career as well. It's a nice opportunity to get out and meet new people, take part in something like that. It's a fantastic opportunity. For you guys who are starting out, don't hesitate. The volunteering at the festival is huge, and I really do encourage anyone to do it. If you're looking for, particularly, they get a lot of people who are brand new at it. If you're somebody with a couple of years under your belt, you know how to talk to people, you tend to get a little greater responsibility because you're somebody who can hold a conversation. So we got that coming up. They are currently announcing a lot of their selection. So the feature film selection just was announced last week, and I think their kids selection was announced the week before that. So head over to animationfestival.ca. There's lots of news over there. Sign up on their site, and that's coming up in the fall. We are going to be there this fall. We're starting to make our plans as far as what we're going to be doing and how Startoon is going to be engaged at the festival. Last year we gave away some passes. We're going to get I'm calling them our ambassadors, so it would be our finalists last year. Hopefully you're all going to join us at the festival in the fall. But the season's coming up, and it's I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it again, and you have to start prepping now. So this is where I guess I'll flip back to Haley's question, because it's about planning your timing. So we did see Adam had some vacation time that has sort of prevented him from jumping in quite as much. Haley's asking about how do you plan your time around the upcoming challenges. It's tough. You don't know who's moving forward. We can start to we can make guesses. And I know you guys, it's summer and you want to take some vacation time. You want to enjoy the good weather. And we're here doing this. And how do you plan around that? I don't know. It's a really tough call. I know there were some of our finalists last year who did actually take time off in the final challenge to work on it, and they used their vacation time for it. These are individual choices you guys have to make. I can't tell you. I can't make the decision for you. It comes down to the entire. It's something kind of inherent in doing this. And it's something we talked about early on in a few group chats about your commitment to this kind of thing. everybody has to make the decision for themselves. Okay, if you want to be somebody who makes shows, who develops shows, develops characters and shows and all that kind of stuff, you need to be putting time into this kind of exercise. We at Startoon provide structure, we provide resources, provide feedback. That's what we're here to do. And yeah, it's falling during summer, and so you got to balance out what your commitment is, not to Startoon, but your commitment to your own ideas. It's a question you have to ask yourselves. I know I can't tell you guys who's going to make it through. We don't know. I can't tell you what kind of time it's going to take. We're trying to make it as manageable as possible. But if you think you've got a shot at that top 4, I wouldn't be booking any big trips. You know, it's the work you need to put in to make it to the end. I mean, certainly we saw last year everybody who made it into our finals. Andy Greenling, Matt Haynes, and the Bacon Brothers, the Woolies. What's the Bacon Brothers? Stephen Bacon. The Woolies. Man, they killed it. They put a lot of work into their stuff by the time they got to that last round. And like I said, like some of them took time off to do it. So that's your call. All right. I wish I could give you better advice, but it really comes down to what is this worth to you. And for a lot of people, taking that trip, going camping, doing all that kind of stuff, that's worth more. I get it. I certainly have made decisions over the course of my career at different times where I've had other priorities. And that's it. That's your priority at the time. Okay. I am doing this right now. I've got a wedding coming up in August, and I'm going to take a little bit of time around that. But I'm trying not to be. It's you got to balance these things. You know, I'm not going away anywhere. We're not taking a honeymoon during Startoon, any of that kind of thing. This is Startoon season, and seeing as it's Startoon season, this is what I'm committed to. So that's something you guys got to answer for yourselves. I hope that helps. I don't know if it does. I hope it helps. I don't know. Is anybody snipping at me? I hope not. Okay. What else have I got? Have we got any questions popping up anywhere?
We do. We have a question from Darren.
Okay.
He says...
Come over here and ask it.
Sure. Okay.
Is it in the chain here?
Hi. Yes.
Right
there.
Okay.
So Taryn says, some colleagues and friends of mine were kind enough to contribute in their own way with voice acting and other things, so I do want to credit them in proper fashion. Lovely. What a good person. Yeah. This will increase my time to above a minute. I hope that's all right. I think that sounds fine.
It's totally fine. I
think that's fine. If it's credits, then that sounds totally fine.
And we're not going to be like crazy down to the second about this kind of thing, okay?
Yeah.
It's a guideline. That minute mark is a guideline, and some people are going to ignore it. That's fine. I think some people are using it as a strength and aiming for it and trying to play to it really well. We're not. I mean, this isn't like a school exercise where you're going to fail if you break. I mean, I know there've been ones in like 30 seconds that you got to hit it or you get marks off. No, you got to make something that works, and you got to use the time effectively, and you've got to be able to complete it. So that's why the minute mark is there, okay? But we are not religious about it. Yeah. We're not going to crap all over. I can't
do it. I can't
not swear. I try so hard.
You're doing really well today.
I know. I had one already.
Okay.
I just bite on that F.
Doing fine.
It's a guideline, okay, so Taryn, don't worry about it. And especially, yes, give credit where it's due, man. Anybody who's helping you out, throw their names up there, shout outs to them, tag them in it when it goes live. This is your currency, it's what you've got to give away. Get your friends on board and helping out, that's amazing. Okay? So yes, please.
So if it goes over a minute, fine. If it's not in at noon on Monday, I'm coming after you. Okay, so that is one that we're sticking a little harder.
Yeah, we're trying. Yeah, we're trying not to be terrible with this kind of thing. We want to give you guys a shot, but it really it starts to tip. Okay, if that noon deadline is there for a reason, and we don't want to be we don't want to be assholes about it.
Mike, you're doing
But-
so well.
But you guys, come on. That's the important one, okay?
Yeah.
That's the really important one. Noon on Monday.
And you can do it.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Yay,
Yeah,
Startoon.
there's no reason why you can't. Okay, it's plan your stuff now. Trying again. Plan your stuff now and get that stuff in on Monday, because we have enough things to deal with when there's just sort of like technical glitches, when it's coming in, then to have to like be chasing you guys and trying to get you to get stuff in the door, and I mean, we've known for weeks now, right? And I know
But
what.
it's cool.
this is
Everyone's
what-
going to get everything in on time.
But it's why
It'll be
also we're
fantastic.
reaching out. So why we're also reaching out to you now. You know, it's why we emailed you all on Friday, so that we can talk to you about what's going on and give you our recommendations and maybe help you get through that with maybe you're putting too much pressure on your project to be something that's not. And if you talk to us about it, we'll give you some advice as to how to execute and still be on time. All right, because that's really important. So yes, let's focus on that. And Tara, and yes, do your best. Okay, get it in for 11:59. Yeah, and you'll be good. You'll be good. Okay. All right. So that's that. Any other questions kicking in?
No.
Okay. Anybody just want to chat? So I will say, we've discovered My Little Pony in my house. Let's not jump all over me. I've watched the show before. Why am I not getting this? Hang on a second. My cousin's saying hi. All right. So we've had an interesting turn of events in my home. My 3-year-old. Oh, we got Alex checking in. Hang on. Frico's Fear video's going good. He's not missing that dang deadline. That's what I like to hear. Excellent. I'm going to say hi to Ron. Ron is watching. Ron Cadigan. Rich Vanette joined. He's watching. Hello to Rich. Thank you guys for joining us. Frico's. Okay, good. I'm glad you. Okay, please let us know. Let us know if it's going well. Let us know if it's not. That's the part that I get scared of. It's the silence. I get scared of the silence, guys. Okay. All right. Who wants to talk My Little Pony? So I have a 3-year-old, and she has a bunch of My Little Pony toys. She loves them, and she didn't know there was a show. We curate what she watches quite a great deal. We try to avoid her discovering certain shows because they will eat my brain and make me not be able to enjoy that time with my daughter. Because we do watch stuff together. We watch a lot of movies. She was raised on Singing in the Rain, Totoro, a lot of Miyazaki, and a lot of Singing in the Rain, and a couple of years. And like right now, her whole life has been Star Wars, superheroes, and princesses. And it's this weird combination. We took her to see the Wonder Woman movie. She was the youngest kid in the place. She's awesome for this stuff. She loves it. Yeah, she's great. So she's been playing with her My Little Ponies more and more. And finally, I was like, okay, all right, we'll pop it on Netflix. And I've watched it. I know it's a good show. I love it's very watchable. When it first came out a few years ago, and all the brony stuff took off, I watched a few episodes to know what all the fuss was about. To be very honest, I don't watch a ton of cartoons. I watch ones that we land on things like Puff and Rock when she was a little younger, because it's just beautiful and amazing. She watches Just in Time. Props to Guru. She watches Octonauts, which I love. I'm all over that. And even the repetitive nature of it, those songs are fantastic. I love it. Octonauts all the way. So it came time. We thought, all right, I'll give this a shot. So we popped on My Little Pony. But I don't like when the show is on. It's my chance to do some other things, right? Yes, it is babysitting to a certain degree. I'm that kind of terrible parent. So it's background noise for me, and I know the show, so I don't invest in it. Now, her mother, on the other hand, has crossed over into a world of fandom that I didn't know was possible for her. I'm getting these heated conversations about the storylines in the kitchen while I'm making dinner now. We have a genuine pony fan in my house now, and she's sitting there saying oh, in an episode, season 3, episode 2, and this is a level I don't go to, and it's not scary. It's wonderful. I'm happy for her that she's found this and she can watch it with our kid. But it's amazing. It's amazing to me. So I started paying attention again, and because she's talking about how like the show has continuity and there's story arcs. And there was one episode where the ponies all left, and some of the little ponies had to take care of the pets. And then 3 episodes later, they showed where the ponies. They did an episode showing where the ponies had gone. And I'm looking at this thing, and I mean, it was made out at Studio B or at DHX. And I'm looking at the names of like people I used to work with and all this kind of stuff, and it's amazing. And I'm feeling envious because here's a show framed around these ponies, right? But they get to do everything. They get to do, like, if I were to pitch a show like this, I'm not sure someone would say yes, because it's got these story arcs, which generally in that kind of 6 to 11 zone, you don't get a huge opportunity to do. And My Little Pony was so hugely successful, but it's always kind of, I think it's hugely successful, but it's hung on the pony franchise, I think, as to why it was successful. And I don't know if we look at, I don't know if kids care. I mean, I know that my daughter is bananas for it, and she's very young, and she knows all the ponies, and now there was this whole other thing with the bronies and adults watching it, and this aspect of it, because I mean, honestly, it's when I go back to even Care Bears from the late 80s, I was a little older than the audience for Care Bears. I didn't have cable. We didn't have a lot of shows on, but I would find myself watching it every now and then. And it was actually a very watchable show because you had these very strong relationships and well-developed characters. There was always an adventure. And I think it was sort of in later seasons when they kind of abandoned that there was a kid in trouble and they had to go and do stuff. And it became more about these Care Bear cousins, and there was a continuity to it. There was a world and a continuity. Like I could pitch a show that was, whether it's ponies or whether it's superheroes, whether it's like any scenario, because it's what I find when I'm looking at it. It's the show I want to be able to make in terms of this it's a well-developed world that has certain constraints. You've got these strong characters that all have sort of archetypal aspects to them, and there's character development and plot development over a slow arc, and yet the episodes also stand on their own. That to me is kind of an ideal situation. The show I'd be pitching would be a stupid superhero show that would do the same things. In fact, I've got 3 of them. But rarely, and again, I don't know if I would get a yes for that. And I'm wondering what you've got to do to. I mean, I don't know. It's maybe I need to just pitch it and find out. But they seem to have gotten away with something with that show that makes it eminently watchable. And it all hangs around this pony premise. Anyhow, I'm going to try to convince Alex. I'm going to try to get her on camera giving a pony rant about how amazing the show is, and maybe we'll. I mean, it's not like we're the first people to discover it. It's certainly been a huge thing all over the place. But I don't know. We'll see. I've also got one plan coming up for my own Max and Ruby theories. So we're going to work on that as well. But it comes back to this, like, for me, somehow along the way, this toy-driven thing became a show of substance. And that's, I think, all most of us are looking for to be involved in. We're looking to be involved in a show of substance. Whether it's My Little Pony, whether it's, it's amazing. And I'm hoping that some of us get that chance coming out of this. But you won't get to unless you get your stuff in. So I'm bringing it full circle and jumping back down to our noon deadline of next week. Anybody have any questions? Because we're getting down to it, and I don't think I got a whole lot more to say.
No, I think
We're good? We're clean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say thank you. Thank you to Alex and Rob and Taryn and Brad and Swin and Vicky and Chris and my cousin Chris and Max. I'm going to run through everybody here. And Michael, all you guys, man. Thanks for coming out again this week, listening to me go on and on and on. I'm going to get some love. Look at those smiley faces. And we'll see you guys next week on Deadline Day, okay? Just get to it and get back to me if it's a problem, all right? Good luck, everybody. We will talk to you real soon. All right, I got to get over here. Okay. Where'd it go? is where my 44-year-old self starts to mess things up. Bye. There it is. No, that's it.
Yeah.
It's gone. So we had a little problem when we started.